What's up, YTPC? Jordan here. Coming at you from the shop. Do a little bit of a tobacco discussion. So, third or fourth bowl out of my rescue Bulldog, and this pipe smokes fantastic. There's zero air restrictions, everything, the filter, everything worked out really well. For a shop pipe, this is going to be a regular smoker for sure for me. And in it is the reason for this video, actually. So, my first tobacco pressing. And I just used a piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe and a 3/4 inch dowel and a long clamp. And just basically, as you saw in the intro, I had 2 piles of tobacco. They're existing blends. I had 5 grams of each left, and decided to mix them together and try pressing them because I figured that they would go well together. So they might not be your guys' first choice of 2 tobaccos to blend together, but surprisingly it worked out really well, and it smoothed the one blend out, so I get the great flavors, but then also a little bit more of a smoother, less harsh taste to it. So the 2 blends that I used are Amphora Original. It's I'll read the tin, I guess, or bag, a well-rounded blend emphasizing the chocolate flavor of burley tobacco. So it's a rich chocolatey undertones, finest burley tobaccos balanced with Orientals, Kentucky, and Virginia leaf. So it's a brighter tobacco. That's the brighter one that you saw in the intro. If you've never had Amphora Original, I highly recommend it if you're into burleys. It's a mild burley, in my opinion. I believe there's a little bit of Cavendish in it as well. Maybe not much, but I believe there is a little bit of Cavendish in it. And it comes in a 50-gram pouch, and it's excellent. It's one of my all-day smokes. It's the one I throw in the van for work and stuff, so that's for sure. The second is H&H Bold Kentucky. So this blend is on the tin. This is the strongest pipe tobacco among the blends in the Mac Baren range and is not recommended for inexperienced pipe smokers. H&H Bold Kentucky contains high amounts of the finest dark-fired Kentucky from the US and Africa, and combined with the bright Virginias to soften the taste just a bit. Still the taste of earthiness with just a slight nuance of sweetness as underlaying taste. So this blend I like, but it's not an everyday blend for me. It's like a late night, let's get a nick hit and have a beer or two and enjoy kind of. It's a very strong tobacco, and even with a filter, it's weird. It's not like a tongue bite, but it's like, even if you don't inhale, it's like a back of the throat / nostril. It like dries it out almost. It's not a bite, but it dries it out, and it kind of almost makes you gag a little bit if you smoke it too heavy. So you got to cadence real easy on it and just kind of smoke it leisurely and that kind of thing, because it'll mess you right up. So on to the pressing. The reason I took these 2 is because I was running low on both, and I just had a little bit, and I've wanted to try a pressing for a little while. And they're both burleys, Virginia burleys, kind of. But like I said, the Bold Kentucky is super strong. So I'll cut away quickly to the plug that I did, or the cake, I guess, or whatever, and a brief explanation of that. So I'll cut away here for that, and then I'll come back after that and explain a little bit more. So this is the, half the plug, or cake, or whatever you want to call it. This is what is left. I smoked that first bowl of it about half. So this is about half the size of it actual original size. It's 3/4 inch PVC conduit I used, so it's a 3/4 inch tube, and it was about 1.5 inches long. So this is about a half of it, and then just some little crumblings left over from me breaking it off. So that's kind of what it turned out, and the color change from the lighter M4 original and the darker Bold Kentucky. So that's kind of how it turned out. Okay, so back. So now I've mixed these two together. I pressed it for 48 hours on the dot almost. And then I let it sit in the tin for 48 hours, or in the jar, sorry, for 48 hours, and it expanded out a little bit, and I just wanted to let it sit and mingle the flavors a little bit better, and just kind of let it sit for a couple days. And then I smoked the first bowl. This isn't the first bowl, this is the second bowl of this stuff. I wanted to wait and do the video. So the retrohale, you get the chocolatiness from the M4 original, but you also get this kind of, like it says, earthy, smoky kind of, not Latakia smoky, but an earthy kind of smoky taste in the retrohale. And what the M4 original did for the Bold Kentucky is it smoothed it over. I can take big, little, whatever hauls of it, and it doesn't give me that burning effect or kind of dry effect in the back of my throat at all, like not even a little bit. Again, this is a filtered pipe. I've been smoking more filtered pipes lately because I'm into the stronger tobaccos lately. I find this just helps me enjoy the flavors more than getting tongue bitten or this kind of, maybe it's just me, I don't know, maybe other people don't get that, I don't know, I get it weird. And it's not even from a retrohale, like I'm not retrohaling, I just normal draw, and that Bold Kentucky just like this dry. Not staying lit very well, but anyways, it smooths it out and makes this blend a lot easier for me to smoke, and it also chills out the nick a little bit, so I'm not getting the crazy head rush from it. I'm not a big nicotine guy. I don't crave it. I don't seek it. I don't whatever. I've never been a cigarette smoker or anything like that. So I'm not into it for that. So that's why the Kentucky's kind of more of a few beers, kind of tobacco sitting on the porch kind of thing for me. But this blend with the M4 original and that mixed does it wonders. So. It's also smoking really well in this pipe, nice and cool. That's I don't understand, because usually the Bold Kentucky for me smoked really hot in a thin-walled pipe. I can hold it, it's fine, it's not warm at all. It's just not staying lit very well. One thing I'll mention about using wood as your press material for tobacco pressing is that the end grain, I don't know if I have the dowel, the end grain of the dowel picked up some of the juices. I mean, it's not a big deal, but that's just less juices or less flavorings or less of that in your tobacco. So just a word to the wise, maybe plastic, if you can, use a plastic dowel, or at least maybe coat the end with a bit of saran or something, shrink wrap or whatever, something like that, or aluminum foil or something. I also used on the bottom just a piece of plywood just to hold it all in as I compressed it. I didn't want to use the clamp, so I used a clean piece of plywood. Again, some of the juices kind of leached into the wood, so that's just less in your tobacco, right? So that's what you're going for, is mixing flavors. So just a quick tip if you are wanting to try it. The dowel I used, well, this isn't exactly the one, but it was basically just a piece of PVC. I soaked it in alcohol so it was sterile, and then same with the stick. I made sure that it was sanded clean and no other debris in it or anything like that. And then I used just straight that. I didn't put any wrappers inside of it, and it released from the well, that's a fly on my lens. It released from the mold pretty good. I just had to tap it a couple times, and the plug or cake or whatever you want to call it came right out. So it released no problem. I could see doing more than what I did, being real difficult to get it out of there if you did that method. So you'd probably want to put a piece of foil or something that just slides you out easier so you can unwrap it afterwards. So that's that. Thanks for watching. My first blend, little chat. I find it really good. Try it if you have those two blends and you want to try a quick little thing. Try it. I would highly recommend it if you like those tobaccos. Them together turned out really well. But that's all. You guys have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye.